Hey, what's going on YouTube? How's it going? Today I'm going to be going over uh, why League starting Hideout Warrior is actually a very lucrative way of farming in this game. So if you want to have gear like this or this or this or this or this or that, if you want to get the end game builds, the 10 mirror builds, I'm telling you, like, your best way is going to be through a Hideout Warrior strategy. So I'm going to go over a few different Hideout Warrior strategies that might give you an idea of what you can do to make currency without farming in the league. So I've got some tabs up, but I'll probably come up with some ideas as I go, unscripted and whatnot. So uh, let's start with enhances. Enhances are something that has religiously through the game's many leagues goes up in price and starts very low. It's a great investment to get into if you're farming like Essence Beast or something, or you're farming Blight or whatever you're farming. You can turn that currency, go buy enhances. I'll get a whole quad tab of enhances for 4 chaos a piece, right? And then they go all the way up to like 60 chaos a piece around maybe a week or two into the league. Um, and then you flip that and you think about it. If I'm going to break out a calculator, you won't be able to see this, but I'll tell you the math out loud. If you have 4 chaos orbs per enhance, and you buy 144 of these, so a stash tab worth. That's 576 chaos orbs, right? Now, if you let these collect until they're about 50 chaos, you'll turn 576 chaos orbs into 7,200 chaos orbs. And if the price of a divine at the time of when it's worth 576 is 100 chaos per, that's 5.7 divines, right? And then let's say that the price of divines by the time that they go up to 50 chaos is 200. You'll still turn 5.7 divines into 36 divines out of nowhere. Thin air and just mental knowledge. So that's one method that you can use. Another method is investing in div cards. This is it's a very scalable investment opportunity. So you can get your 7 years bad lucks, which is towards the low end of a price rising card. And then you could even do things like Unrequited Love. Buy some of these early on, depending on how fast you're farming, and then watch those go up. The same thing goes for Apothecary cards, House of Mirrors, the Doctor cards. Of course, the Doctor cards will go down towards the end of the league, but right around that mid-league pocket, they spike up in price. So you can buy a Doctor card for, say, like 8 Divine early league and watch it go up to 20 Divine. You buy a bunch of those, you get a huge turnaround. Basically everything on this front page goes up in price over the course of the league. Uh, the artist cards, last one standing. I mean, the last one standing, not so much, but the synthesized item cards go up in price like crazy, and they also sell at a huge markup value in bulk. So things like the Magnum Opus, Broken Promises, Imperfect Memories, these cards, if you buy these one at a time for, say, like 15 chaos a piece, you can then sell them in bulk easily for like 60 to 100 chaos a piece. And people will pay that price if you're patient enough. So that's something you could do. Obviously, you got cards as well that are crazy good in bulk sales, like Luminous Trove, that have huge markup values in bulk. Uh, Wealth and Powers as well. And then you have cards that are just worth a lot of currency that go up in price as the league goes on. Some of these, not so much towards the end of the league, but early on, if you're picking them up early enough, they'll go up in price and you'll be able to resell them or resell the items even. Or what you could do is buy the cards, turn them into the item, and then hold on to the item until it's at a peak point and then sell the item. Cards like Endless Darkness and The Soul are some examples. And then you have, let's see what else we could find in here. Strangle Gasp is another one. Obviously, Headhunter cards, Mage Bloods, obviously. I mean, that's kind of an obvious choice, right? You got Sakura Sinless, which goes up in price based off of early league to about a couple weeks in. Um, they will start to go down though slowly. Beauty Through Death is a bit of a delayed reactor, so Beauty Through Death and its series Reflection in general has a bit of a price uh, parabola where it'll start low, it'll go up maybe to about 3 Divine a shield, and then it'll come back down to about 1 Divine a shield. So that's another good option for a mid-league flip. You can buy patient cards, turn them in and sell the nurse cards. You can buy nurse cards, turn them in and sell the doctor cards at a slight markup. Obviously, that's a lot of trading, but it is something you can do. You can do the same thing with tabula rasa cards early league. The vanity cards and get corrupted tabulas. Those corruptions actually do sell for a lot early league, and then you can do just the regular humility cards and just take the humility regular blank tabula rasa, buy say a humility card for 2 chaos each, turn it in, sell the tabula for 26 27 chaos early league, and you're making yourself a quick flip for just 9 trades, right? Another thing you can do is buy elevated sextants early league and flip them for more currency as they do go up in price almost all the way through the league. Of course, also what you can do is buy these early as you're farming, roll them, and then sell the sextants when they're worth more than what you paid for the elevated sextants, right? So you can roll them into, your strong boxes and your beyond and your breachstone and your legion sextants, and you can unpackage them and sell them. Typically, it's profit. I've done a video on this before. And I've tested it multiple times. Elevated sextant rolling is definitely profit if you're paying about 1 to 3 in a blue ocean market, which means you need an active market for them to actually sell. Because towards the end of the league, obviously people aren't mapping that much. People aren't going to be buying sextants at that point. The price is going to go down on them. But during the active part of the game, you for sure can make a huge profit rolling sextants. And that goes for awakened sextants as well. Awakened Sextants, again, is another thing that goes up in value towards the mid league. So it's something you can buy a lot of early and then watch the price go up. And then when they go up, that's when you want to roll them and sell the Sextants. Another thing you can do is pocket exceptional currency. Eldritch currency always goes up in price. So you can do Eldritch Chaos Orbs, Eldritch Orbs of Annulment, Eldritch Exalted Orbs. You can also do regular Exalted Orbs. You can do exceptional Eldritch Embers, exceptional Eldritch Ichors, and you can take those and just kind of hold on to them, and they'll accrue in value pretty quickly as well. This is something that I like to do because I don't like to hold on to liquid Divine Orbs as they always go down in value as the league goes on. So something you want to do is try to put your currency and your resources into other avenues and only turn them into divines when you need it. That way you're never holding on to too much liquid and you're never really losing potential generated currency that way. These are just a few options. You also got things like Voidborn Reliquary Keys. They're like 30 chaos a piece early league. They spike up to 4 divines towards the end of the league. And, I mean, you can make a killing off of these, even if it's like 2 divines when you sell them, right? And especially if you're buying them one at a time and selling them at bulk, you can buy them at 30 chaos a piece early league, right? And then let's say you buy 50 of these, okay? You buy 50 of these that cost you 1,500 chaos orbs, okay? Now, 50 of these are worth, so let's just say early league price of divines 150 chaos when you bought them. Maybe 120 chaos. But let's just say it cost you about 10 divines. 10 to 12 divines, maybe, for these. You can then flip them for 2 div a piece. That's 100 divines, right? So you just turn 12 divines into 100 divines. So again, these market corrections early league are super abusable, and you need to look at these as options for making a ton of currency early league. It's the only way that you're going to beat out the masses, because the masses is going to do normal farming, right? And the normal farming is always going to keep up with the market. You're never going to get ahead of the market. So you use investing to get ahead of the market. It is one crucial way of getting ahead of the market. Another thing you can do is you can take scarabs and re-roll scarabs into different types of scarabs and make currency that way. So if I pull up PoE and I break out the Hoarder Crafting Station, you can see here I can change a stack of scarabs into a different type with the same rarity and cost, and all it costs me is 300 red juice every time I want to do a flip, right? So let's say Elder Scarabs. What are these going for? I think they're like, on standard at least, they're maybe 35 to 1 divine. Yeah, 35 to 1 divine. We pop this in here real quick. Let me type Scarab. Let me hit the craft button a few times. Sulfite Divination. Look at that. I spent 600 crystallized life force and 5,100 life force is to 1 divine, right? So if we divide this by 600, that means that was 1/8 of a divine I spent to flip this, okay? Now what are these worth? 1 to 13. So I just made, I mean, I just basically tripled the value of this, and all it costed me was 1/8 of a divine to do that. That is insane. So think about what that can do in a bulk amount, right? And you can do that with different scarabs as well. Certain scarabs, not only the divination scarab hold value, you have your gilded ambush scarabs and your reliquary scarabs as well that hold value. You can sell, I mean, harbinger scarabs are actually worth a lot more than I expected, but you can do things like, I know cartography scarabs go for a lot early on, and expedition scarabs go for a decent amount early on. But you can basically go to the market, buy a bunch of bulk scarabs. You can go to TFT, buy a bunch of bulk scarabs, re-roll them all into good scarabs, and then resell them at a bulk value. And if you have a bunch of them, you can sell them at a markup and make even more currency that way. You can do the same thing with essences in this game, because essences have different values as well. Now, of course, you're not going to hit these ones in particular unless you're rolling one of these to begin with, but you can see we got Deafening Essence of Loathing at 15 chaos apiece. And if I go into the game and go to my Essence tab, we'll take a look at the price of Loathings. Loathings are one divine for 11 of these, okay? So I think Scorns are worth 1 to 13, yep. Spites are 1 to 25, yep. But then you have things like Deafening Anguish, which are 1 to 55, okay? So we roll these. So you take the Anguish, you get into the Hoarder Crafting Station, you type the word Essence, you click the button, 270 blue per roll, okay? Now there's so many options for you to hit on Essence rolling. Boom, Greed. Let's see. Greed's 1 to 35. I consider that profit. Envy, look at that. Those are, I think, 1 to 19. 1 to 28 in standard, but typically in League, envies are like 19 essences for a divine. Suffering's a reroll sometimes. Fear might actually be worth something next League. I think minions are coming back, but Sorrow we're good with. Greed, there we go. We got Greed again. So we can pop these away. Maybe I want like, I said Suffering wasn't that good, right? Yeah, Suffering's not great. So we'll take Sufferings. We pop them in here. We'll roll them. Essence of Torment. That one's not that bad. Envy, there we go. Misery is a reroll. Suffering, no. Zeal's good. Scorn's great. Wrath is, Scorn's great. So there you go. You got more currency out of basically thin air. All you have to do is put the effort in, right? And have the knowledge. So this is just touching the surface. Ways to make currency in this game that don't involve profit crafting, that don't involve technical skill. You just need to know it's there. So hopefully that gives you kind of an idea of what you can do. I mean, now there are upscaling situations, like if you find yourself in a heaping amount of currency early on, you can do things like buy voice jewels, which always go up in price towards the end of the league, or even towards the early league. You will definitely pay a lot less for these and watch the price go up. I think 2 leagues ago, I bought 3 voices, 1 passive voices for 60 divine each, and I did that on day 2 of the league. I then flipped them on day 4 of the league for 180 divines each. I made 360 divines out of thin air in 2 days. And all it took was waiting. So these are just some things you guys can kind of take advantage of and think about. Now, I could go into profit crafting, but I don't really want to go into that in this video because we'll be here for a while. Obviously, there's beasts that go up in price. There's certain uniques that go up in price, like the Squire goes up, the Stasis Prison goes up. Uh, I mean, even Hateforge, Headhunter, Mageblood, all these go up in price. Obviously, Pharaoh's Fur does not. Pharaoh's Fur actually goes down in price. The Brass Dome is another that goes down in price. Covenant goes down in price. So just know what sells for a lot later on. Make your investments early on. Farm. Put that currency into something. Put that into a project. Put that into a flip. Uh, Utilize your currency, take advantage of the market early on. That's how you're going to make a lot of currency in the game. You're just not going to do it by just straight up mapping and farming. It's just not going to happen. Um, this build that I have right now it's a 10 mirror build, 10.5 mirrors. I think I spent on this. Um, I didn't do that by farming for 10.5 mirrors. That's crazy. That's a lot of effort. So uh, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Here's the build, by the way. Again, like, you got your mirror tier helmet, your mirror tier dagger, your mirror tier ring. I mean, these are just really good boots. Uh, 350 divine ashes. That is now legacy. Crazy. Calandra's touch. Double corrupted aegis. Uh, Meticulously crafted sword gloves with a perfect fracture. Uh, I have double corrupted jewels in the tree. Gems that are insane, like Awaken Enlighten 5, stuff like that. You get this stuff. I'm telling you, you get this stuff by playing the market early league, so pay attention. Hopefully you guys learned something today. And I'll see you in the next one. All right, peace out.